Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be something a little bit different because I haven't done a let's talk or life story or anything like that in a while, and I know a lot of you guys really do seem to enjoy these kind of videos. Coco! As you can maybe hear in the background, me and Adam got a new dog last night. So exciting. She loves to be in here with mommy. She's a French bulldog. You guys who have been subscribed for a long time know that me and Adam have wanted a Frenchie for a very long time. So you guys can meet her before we get into the video. Coco! Her name's Coco Chanel. Chanel's her middle name, so we call her C-O Coco for short. Coco! She's stubborn like the typical bulldog, so she doesn't always listen. Coco, come here. Come here. Come say hi to YouTube. Yeah, oh, I'm sorry. Come here. Hi, Coco. Oh, the little right. Oh, moving the light. This is little Miss Coco. She is in heat right now. She is 5 years old and she's in heat. She's not fixed. Got to get her fixed. So she's not really feeling well today. Yeah, it's really not fun because Roscoe's not fixed either, and I think it gets him really excited. So he's getting fixed next week and she will be next up to get fixed. But yeah, she's on a period. She don't feel good. But isn't she the cutest little Frenchie ever? Her mother was a Boston Terrier and her father was a French Bulldog. So technically she is part I thought she was peeing. She is part Boston Terrier, but in her bloodline it showed that she was probably about 1% Boston Terrier. In every which way she is your typical Frenchie. So I think the 1% went to her ears, because if they perk up, I can't get them to, hey. See, trying to get her ears to perk up. Say hi. Hi baby. They stick up and they kind of are like straight and sharp. French Bulldogs usually have a rounded tip. She kind of has a pointed tip, which is typical of the Boston Terrier. So I do think the 1% showed up in her ears. Anyway, I'm going to let her go to the floor. Here, go chill. Go chill, sweetie. Yeah, so I'm trying to keep her and Roscoe separated because Roscoe kind of chases her, and sometimes he does try to mount her and she just like runs off. I don't think it's possible for them to mate because he's big and she's small, but so I'm not really worried about it. But he's getting fixed very soon and she'll be next up. It's very exciting to finally have a Frenchie. I've wanted one for a long time, and we rescued her. Obviously, she's 5 years old. The lady just couldn't take care of her anymore due to health conditions, so she was really happy to meet us yesterday and give her to us, and we couldn't be any more thankful and happy. She's literally a black Frenchie, which is what I wanted, and we love her so much already. She's definitely Daddy's little girl. Like, she loves Adam so much, but she's just a really good girl. So that's that. And hey, don't jump. Get down. She's like jumping up, and this ring light is not secure over here and I don't want it to fall. Don't jump up. So if you hear her pitter-pattering in the background, please don't mind her. She'll probably be doing that a lot in the videos. I feel like she'll always be in here, not just because she's on heat. I'm trying to keep them separated, but she does seem to follow me into the beauty room, and when I'm not like looking, she comes in here and I'm like, what are you doing in the beauty room? She's the typical girl. So yeah, this video is going to be all about how to, let's get this hair. How to be happy. I know that happiness is a very relative term, and what happiness could mean for one person, it could mean something completely different for the next. I have a head cold too. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but just ignore that. So yeah, for the longest time, I struggled with being happy. I'd say the last 2 years, maybe 3, have been really hard for me because I just haven't really felt happy, and I didn't know really what was going on. A lot of it definitely had to do with anxiety and depression, which I was diagnosed with, and I'm on medications for both of those problems right now, and I did see a change in me from starting the medications. I definitely think it's helped, but something that I didn't realize was missing that made a huge difference was having God back into my life and accepting Jesus as my Savior. I literally saw the biggest change in myself, my mood, and my happiness once I just started coming back to God. And I know that this isn't like, religion is one of those things where not everybody wants to hear about it, but this is my journey and my story of how I became happy, going from completely miserable to being like 100% happy. It's true that happiness does not come from other things, material things, other people. For the longest time, I thought if I did this, like if I spent money on this makeup, it would make me feel good. If I bought tanning, it would make me feel good. If I bought a new wig, it would make me feel good. If I changed my hair, if I bought a new tattoo, or if I got a new tattoo, things like this would make me feel good. And it was like over time of seeing that, okay, I got a new tattoo, I'm like cool with it, but I'm not happy. Okay, my new weave came in, I put it on. I mean, I like it, it's fun, but I'm not happy from it. And it took like a while for me to get it, because everybody says that money doesn't make happiness. It literally took a while, because I was always like the type that thought, okay, money doesn't make happiness, but it can make me happy. And it took a lot of time to figure it out, and now I'm like at the point where I'm just spending money and realizing, okay, I'm not really happy. You know, I was told by a few friends and my own therapist that maybe seeking out God wouldn't be a bad thing. A little background information. I was raised in a very, very religious household. I was raised as a Jehovah's Witness, if you guys don't know. I never celebrated any holiday in my life, and was kind of told that if I ever did, it was very like wrong and like Satan, like you're following Satan, and if you ever leave the truth, as they put it, you're following Satan, you're going down the wrong road, the wrong path. I'm using all their terminology that I can remember. So I never would have thought to ever celebrate holidays, because I didn't want to like die when Armageddon came, and I never would have thought to go to another church because I didn't want to die when Armageddon came, and I didn't want to walk into Satan's doors, so to speak, because that's kind of how it was always put. I think like growing up, I might have went to one church for a funeral, and they obviously weren't Jehovah's Witnesses, because Jehovah's Witnesses would never have a funeral or wedding or anything in a church, and it was very awkward. Like you could tell my mother just like didn't want to be there. So like I never went to church growing up. I obviously went to the Kingdom Hall, they call it, because I was a Jehovah's Witness. And growing up in that kind of a household really did obviously put an influence on me. I mean, in a good way. It made me, I think it's good, it made me realize and believe in a God, in a higher being. So I do definitely thank my mom and, you know, my background for that, because some people really just don't even believe in God, and I just think that's kind of sad. I mean, to each their own. If you don't, you don't, but I think it's nice to know that there is somebody that's in a higher authority that truly loves you unconditionally. So, yeah, I was just going through, I obviously, as you guys know, left the truth, the Kingdom Hall at like 18, for a very, very lots, for a lot of reasons, more reasons than one. It just wasn't, like, there was things that were, like, not adding up, there was things that I just, like, didn't agree with, so I was just like, I can't do this. So, yeah, ever since, like, 18 to, like, 24, pretty much, I didn't celebrate, or I didn't go to the Kingdom Hall. I wasn't going to anything, and I wasn't praying, and I wasn't reading my Bible, because I was kind of taught with the mentality that it's either be a Jehovah's Witness or be nothing at all, because I know that if I was to become anything other than a Jehovah's Witness, my family would basically disown me, but more or less just really not have much to do with me, which we'll get to in a little bit. So I was always like fearful to go to look at any other churches, because like I didn't want to lose my family, so it kind of like put you in a really, really tight position. So like I was saying, my therapist and my neighbor had just like mentioned that, you know, maybe you're not happy because you don't have God in your life. You know, you were raised in a very structured religious household. That definitely had an influence on you, and maybe you just don't realize. And I just kind of like put it in one ear and out the other, until one day I just was like, why am I not happy? Like, things are not that bad. My life is not that bad. I have an amazing boyfriend. I have a great dog, 2 dogs now. Like, I just like didn't understand why I wasn't happy. I was just like, I'm not happy. Like, I mean, I'm not miserable like I was prior to getting on medication. So medication made me to like 50%, but I still had another 50% that was pretty down and like didn't know why. So I just decided when I was talking to my neighbor, she was like, you know, maybe you really should. I was like, maybe I should. Where do I start? And she's like, well, start wherever you want to start. I think Christian would be the best for you just because you were raised to believe certain things. Catholic is a little bit more different and they have more saints, and maybe it wouldn't be for you. So I did some research and I found that a Christian church would be the best bet for me. And there was this church I always drove past all the time. It's called the Tabernacle, and it always caught my eye. It was called a contemporary Christian church. So I was like, contemporary sounds kind of modern. Maybe they would be more accepting, whatever. So that was the church that I decided to go to. And it's been about 5 weeks that I've been going, and it may not seem like a long time to you guys, but since the first day I stepped inside that church to like right now, I've been the happiest I've been in a long time. Has nothing to do with my money, has nothing to do with my job, has nothing to do with YouTube, has nothing to do with Adam, has everything to do with me and having Jesus literally living inside of me. And Adam's like, I come home from work and you're just so happy. He's like, you're happy every day. You love the Lord. You love talking about the Lord. You love praying to the Lord. He's like, I just see such a marked difference in you. And I'm like, you know what, Adam? I see a marked difference inside me and I feel it in my heart. Like, I'm so happy. So, that is how I found true happiness, is through God. And like I said, it hasn't been that long. I mean, it's been 5 weeks. I may not be long enough to make like a testimony like this, but I feel it's more than enough to make a testimony, because I've obviously in the 5 weeks had days that weren't so great, but not as bad as they've been in the past. Like, you just don't feel so bad. And I don't know what it is other than the fact that God is loving me and Jesus is loving me and I'm being accepted because I'm looking for them and I'm praying for them, whereas before I kind of just shut them out because of what I went through in the past. I kind of just was like, I'm kind of done with God, because it was either Jehovah's Witness or nothing. And you know, I just decided to give a church a try, and you know, I think God is just letting me know right now, like, Mariah, I'm accepting you. Like, I'm so happy you decided to find me again, and I'm so happy that your past didn't affect our relationship, and I'm so happy that you love me and that you want me, and I'm so happy that you are going to be saved. And it's very hard to put into words how I feel. I just am so much more happier. Like, it's so true that it comes from within. And, you know, honestly, I don't think you can do it without having God's grace. Like, I don't want to get all preachy on you guys, but if you are struggling, if you're down and, you know, you don't have God in your life, maybe that's why. I know it made a huge difference in my life, and I just had to make this kind of video because I know that there's people watching this who are struggling with depression, who can't get out of bed. I've been there. Trust me, I've been there. Days where I would get up in the morning, eat breakfast, do a little something, go right back to bed. Boyfriend come home from work and be like, you're in bed? I'm like, I'm tired. Depression makes you literally feel like you're sick or something because you're just always tired. I didn't even know I was depressed. I thought I had low iron. So trust me, I've been there, and I know what it's like to just feel so lost. And honestly, it's been a year since we're coming up on a year next month that I've been going to therapy. Therapy, medication, and God have literally changed my life. And I'm at the happiest point in my life that I've ever been. And even when Adam makes me mad, it's not to the point where, like, it used to be, like, he would do something and I would just never let it go. And I would just be so angry at him, but because I was like trying so hard to make my happiness into a person, like I was putting all my eggs in one basket, so to speak. Like, I was just relying on Adam to make me happy. That's the best way to put it. I was relying on Adam to make me happy, and God forbid he didn't come through on one thing. It was like, what the hell? I'm not happy with you. And it was really just because, like I said, I was putting all of my eggs into one basket, and you just can't do that. You can't look to somebody else for your happiness. You can look to God, of course, because he can do that for you, but a human being, you just can't do that. You can't look to relationships, you can't look to money. It comes from within. So you have to be happy with yourself, you have to accept yourself, and then you have to accept God. And I literally think, like, it would change your life, because it's changed my life. I will never stop going to church, even though the road ahead of me is going to be anything but easy. My parents know that I'm going to church, and they're less than happy about it. I don't talk to my brothers anymore, really. My brother Seth on occasion, and my sister-in-laws don't talk to me at all. So, you know, there's a price to be paid for me with definitely accepting a new church into my life. But I think God is just sustaining me, and I'm just going to love my family through it because that's what Jesus would want me to do, and that's kind of like a commandment in the Bible, is to love each other. And when Jesus was dying, he said, "Forgive them, Father, for they don't know what they're doing." So that's kind of how I feel about my family. Like, forgive them, God, because honestly, I think that my family just literally believes the Jehovah's Witness religion so much that it's hard for them to see me going the wrong way, because this is like the bad path, the wrong path, the path to Satan, the path to death. So I kind of understand where my family is coming from, but it kind of sucks that, you know, I feel like I'm never going to know my other brothers' daughters or sons, and they're never going to know me. And if I ever have kids, you know, it's just very strained, and it kind of sucks. But I know with God, all things are possible, and even though it's really not a fair situation and it sucks, love them through it would be the best thing, and I know God and Jesus would want that. And you know, I hate to get all religious, but it's just how I feel. I mean, I definitely became happier through it, and like I said, I would never stop going, and I've made some amazing friends so far, and Adam has too, and we have this Tuesday night group where we get together and we just worship and we listen to music and we have a little bite to eat, and it's just so much fun, and I wouldn't trade this for anything. And I think God was definitely directing me, like, come back home, even though he wasn't saying it, he was pushing me, and God was working through my therapist and my neighbor, and here I am, happier than ever. So I just wanted to come on here and make this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you're not religious, you don't believe in God, this video was not for you, and I'm sorry. But yeah, that's it. So until next time, I will see you guys very soon in my next video. Bye, guys. Don't call him that, please. I'm vlogging. Hi! Hi, you're so excited! You're so excited! You're so excited! Hi! Hi! You're so excited!
What's up, Nix?
Stop, Adam.
What?